What's up YouTube, welcome back to the channel. This week another exciting video, but a video that's generally not all that popular, a product opening. Now this is quite the exception because recently Vanguard and Shadowverse had a collab, and so Shadowverse is now releasing in the Japanese version of the game, obviously not in the English version yet, but we'll hopefully get those in the future, 2 trial decks and a set themed around the original Vanguard sets. And so I've managed to get my hands on 2 of these trial decks and some of the beautiful sleeves that come with them. So let's take a look at what's in these products. Just before I open them, I kind of want to go a bit over the boxes because I think they did an amazing job making these. They are very reminiscent of the original trial decks. Like, they made a stylized version of Aichi on this one, which is really cool, and even the logo that was on the original. So this is really cool, except Blaster Blade is not the cover card for this, which is kind of sad because he's so much cooler than Alfred, but yeah. Same goes for Overlord and Kaitoshiki. So yeah, they did a really good job on these. And so I don't actually know what's in these, but when I took a peek behind the deck, I don't know if people can see. There's like this blue packet, and I hope that's like a promo pack thing or maybe a pack from the box. So we do get something special in these that's not in every single one of them, but we'll take a look. And so I'll put these aside. If you want to see the sleeves, they're also really cool, but expect those to also come to English. Let's take a look at the Aichi one. I opened the tape before we started, so I can open these much easier. So if this is your first time watching a Shadowverse video, we haven't really done that many of them, but it's one of the games that has me really excited in the current card game format. It's one of the more interesting games, I would say. It plays a bit like Magic the Gathering or Hearthstone, games like that, but has some really cool mechanics like the Evolve deck, which many of those don't really have. So let's take a look at the cards. Now, because this is a Japanese product, the cards are in Japanese and I can't actually use them to play, but they're a really cool unit, so I don't mind. I can collect them like this. So we have Alfred, and this is Evolve form, and this is the base form, so Alfred Early and King of Knights Alfred. For those who haven't played Evolve has an effect where Evolve cards or Shadowverse cards have an Evolve effect where you can play points, which is, I guess, we can't really show that off, but if you play the game, play points are like your mana for every turn, where you can pay them to evolve into an evolved version from an extra deck. And so King of Knights Alfred Early evolving into King of Knights is really thematic, so that's super cool they did that. We then also have Blaster Blade, who evolves, I believe, into another Blaster Blade, so that's also super cool. We've got Wingull, which is a very original art. Ooh, I don't remember his name, but he's also here. The PGs have been reworked to being quick play spells, so they can be used to guard. I don't think they guard actually. I think they are capable of destroying low cost followers or healing in this case. So yeah, super cool effect. Even vanilla units have been reworked to get good effects, and this is one of the first things they did really cool in Shadowverse, in the Shadowverse Vanguard collab. They added this thing where instead of evolving, you can give them a drive point, which are these cards at the end, and they allow cards to do drive checks. And I hear you think like, wait, drive checks in Shadowverse? How would that work? They actually did it so smart. It's just like in Vanguard 0, where if you do your drive check, you check the card. If it's a trigger, it triggers and then goes to drop. But if it's not a trigger, it goes to the bottom of your deck. So that way it does not plus you, but it does give you this cool trigger mechanic. And let's see, we have Maron. I forgot her name, but she was the discard draw girl. I hope she does something similar. I don't remember this one either. Lou, and this is the first card that has a trigger icon. And so you have a maximum of 12 triggers in your deck, and they're kind of set by the trial deck because we're not getting any more triggers. But yeah, so we have Lou as a critical trigger, one of the dogs as a draw trigger, Flowgull as a stand trigger. So yeah, stand triggers are also back. You can stand a unit, and if it's stood, it can't attack directly anymore, but still on followers, so that's really cool. And heal triggers, obviously. And heal triggers in this game heal you for a certain amount, so I believe it's 3 health, so that's pretty strong. And then we have a starter, which they did in the form of an amulet. So if you're playing a Vanguard deck that's purely Vanguard, not mixed with the rest of Swordcraft, you can put this face down at the start of the game, and when the game starts, flip up your starter, which is so thematic, so cool. And yeah, this is a really cool starter for Royal Paladin. We then have our Evolve deck, which I'll put like this. We get 3 copies of King of Knights, 3 copies of Blaster Blade, which is the obvious boss of this deck. Everything in this version of the build revolves around reviving your Blaster Blade, and if Blaster Blade is summoned from anywhere other than hand, he will immediately evolve into his evolved form, which is the art we're all so familiar with. So this is super cool. And then we get drive points, which are like evolve forms, I guess, for cards that they did not print evolved for. And so these are really cool. And we then get a leader, Aichi Sendo. So let's see if the camera picks this up. I think this is one of the best reasons to pick these up, because they're so pretty. I really hope they just bring these over to English as well once the set comes out. So that's probably in a year or so, because obviously there's a lot of sets between that and now. But yeah, the foiling is amazing on this. And so I might ask my judge at locals if I can use this whenever I play Swordcraft, just because it's so pretty. So let's put Aichi aside. We then also get the basic Evo points. And the cool thing is, in the set itself, we are actually getting Evo point replacements, but Evo points that have the art of all of the, I believe, 7 first sets on them. So yeah, they're amazing, and I hope to get my hands on those in the future when the set releases for us. So let's put this set of cards aside. So that was the Aichi Star deck with a beautiful box. It comes with a playmat and these tokens, which most people don't actually use, but it's good as a starting product. But then we get this blue pack, and this is kind of one of the things I've been excited for. So let's see what's in here. We can't read because it's in Japanese, but once we open it, we'll probably know. Oh, so we got a foil Maran, a foil of the card I don't remember, and whoa, an SL Blaster Blade. All right, that's super, super cool. All right, so these packs do have a few of the interesting cards from the deck in there then. And so yeah, this is super cool. Let's put our Blaster Blade next to Aichi, and I'll put these aside for now. Right, so let's see if we can get the same kind of luck in the Kagero box. Because I've actually been playing mostly Dragon in the TCG, so I'm kind of excited for what Kagero has to bring to the table, because most of the cards are really, really good. Like, based on the preliminary results of the format in Japan, Kagero is one of the better ones, so that really has me excited. Okay, let's go over it. So we have the evolved form of Overlord, which is obviously the art we're most familiar with. We then also have this Overlord, which is the base Overlord. And I don't actually remember exactly what he does, but I believe he's a restander, just like in the original TCG. So super thematic, super cool, and obviously being a 4-cost 5/5 is a little bit stronger than Blaster Blade, so that's super cool. We then have Goku, which is also super cool original cards. Aleph, if I remember. He used to be part of this Superior, I think, so I hope his next form is also in here, because he's really cool. We then have Burning Horn, Blazing Breath. Oh, I don't remember his name, but he's also a super iconic Kagero card, and he's looking strong as ever. The PG for the Kagero deck is also very thematic. We then have, I really forgot all the Kagero names. I used to play this deck in Standard as well, so it's kind of silly that I don't remember the names of the cards. This one I know, this is Bar, and I believe he just draws a card on summon. So yeah, that's kind of thematic, I guess, with his write-up skill where you add a card from your deck to your hand, so yeah, super cool. Then we have another card I don't remember the name of, super cool. The one that they combine with. So I believe these two still have a really cool synergy effect going on. And then the critical triggers, we got 3 crits, 3 draw triggers, 3 stand triggers, and 3 heal triggers. Yeah, so it's the standard lineup. And then as a starter, we get Lizard Soldier Conroe, right? No, this isn't Conroe. What is his name again? Is it Conroe? It's probably Conroe. So yeah, it's super cool starter. And then to the evolve deck, we get a third or 2 other copies of Overlords. And then yeah, we get the evolve form of Aleph. So yeah, that's super cool. And we get drive points and evo points. So very thematic with the original trial decks to get Overlord versus Blaster Blade. Let's see if we got lucky on this pack as well. So we got a foil Aleph, a foil Bar, and APG. Yeah, so this Blaster Blade was definitely a lucky pull, and I'm so glad we got this. But definitely super cool that they add these packs in here and that we get actually foil versions of things in the starter deck. It's kind of reminiscent of some of the V-Star decks where we did get like 1 card replaced with a full version. So yeah, that's it for this opening. I hope you enjoyed it. There's not much more to talk about. I've got the sleeves, but I'm probably keeping them sealed for now until I have a deck to put them on. I do realize that there's some card missing. Wait, hold up. Oh, we skipped over one of the most important cards. So before I sign off here, we do have the Kaitorshki's leader, which is also in beautiful white with the foiling on it. I'm not sure if these can actually be scanned into the app, so that's something I'll have to figure out myself, but I doubt it since they're trial deck leaders just like the ones we got in the original trial decks for Shadowverse. But obviously they'll look amazing, so having these on your field just looks so good. So I might end up using this one as well for Dragon. So I really like these two they did, and the arts are just amazing. They're so original. They have this manga feel to them, which I also really like. And yeah, we got Blaster Blade, and we'll get the Overlord on the other side. And guys, I'll be signing off on that. I hope you enjoyed this little opening. Obviously, it's not that impressive to look at, but if you wanted to know what's in these products, it's a nice way to know. So see you in the next one.